Welcome to Cigar Audit. Matt here to review the Gurkha Cellar Reserve 18-year in Solera. This is a limited edition cigar that is pretty pricey, and for those, I'll put some pictures up, for those that are familiar with the Gurkha Cellar Flying Feral Pig, it almost looks like an exact replica. But anyway, I found it kind of interesting. It says the blend strength is 98%. Not sure what that means. I have not had one of these. I've had some of the other Gurkhas that are similar to this, but not the 18-year. So I am quite interested to see how this smokes and how it tastes. The wrapper is quite oily. I would say very oily. And moderate to some sizable veins, which is kind of interesting. So I'll make sure I get those in the pictures. It does have a fantail cap, but the, for the most part, the seams look pretty tight in your typical figurado shape. So I'll make sure I have some pictures of that. But I get a very slight peppery, earthy and barnyard aroma. It's fairly strong smelling. If you had a box of these, I think it would be quite strong when you open it. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and clip this up. This particular cigar in the Solera size, let me double check, is 5 inches by 58. So it's a pretty sizable, hefty stick. So let me get this cut up, see how she do. Well, at first light, I definitely get a natural tobacco, lots of smoke. Probably can see it in the video. The drawl starts out tight, like a lot of figurados do, and it is opening up already. Definitely getting earthy flavors on the drawl and natural tobacco, and I also get the finish. You get a mixed spices and definitely an earth on the back of the throat a little bit. Not super deep into the back of the throat, but certainly there and present. And I definitely get some black pepper, I would say cloves, a few sweet spices in with that black pepper. And that not only is on the draw, but also on the finish. Pretty pronounced. The wrapper does leave kind of like an oil taste or feel to your lips. Definitely something that when you have a cigar that has that feeling to your lips, you definitely know that it's a very oily cigar and usually very flavorful. Through the nose, I'm getting some interesting flavors. You get a little bit of that white, that kind of typical white pepper. Got a little floral notes in there, that last one, which is kind of interesting. And I get through the nose, I get a combination of some spices, some sweet spices, a little bit of white and black pepper, and some floral notes. So quite interesting, more complex than I would have expected. I have heard that these are good cigars, so I'm not sure if the strength is going to be 98%, but you never know, so we'll find out. So I'll smoke the cigar down further, which looks like it might take a while. It's packed pretty tight. And we'll see how this Dominican Puro performs for me. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt here to go over the first third of the Gurkha Cellar Reserve 18-year in Solera. This cigar has had a few surprises already in the first third, which I thought was interesting. One, because of its size, I had to touch up the burn right on the tip. A lot of times these size cigars, these Vitolas, don't catch, the wrapper doesn't catch right. So I did have to touch it up. Then it became very deep and rich, deep rich earth. And that stepped back from a full body cigar to a medium or medium full cigar with some vegetal sweetness on the draw and the retrohale. And but now the finish is long and is a deep, dirty earth on the finish, which is kind of interesting. So it kind of goes back and forth quite a bit so far. But definitely on the draw, you get like a vegetal sweetness with leather notes, and then some slight pepper spices. And then on the finish, you definitely get that deep earth with black pepper and some other cloves and sweet spices mixed in. The draw has actually, it went from tight to open to perfect. So that's kind of bizarre. Usually it goes from tight to open or tight to perfect. It doesn't go backwards. So, but all in all, I think it's performing pretty well. And, you know, the aroma is kind of a typical toastiness, toasted tobacco. Overall, a very earthy vegetal note throughout the entire flavor profile of this cigar. And so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. I'm not sure if it's, what does it say, 98% strength. Might not be there. Definitely that finish is long and deep earth with spices, but so far as strength as nicotine is concerned, the nicotine strength I would say is medium full, not more than that, but we got a ways to go, so we'll see how it goes. So I'll get further down into the cigar and we'll see how it progresses. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt here to go over the second third of the Gurkha Cellar Reserve, and this is the 18-year. So some good and some bad in this third, which is kind of interesting, and I'll share some pictures. The burn got off, not from a traditional burn change, but more from the standpoint of, I think there was a section that was underfilled that I think as the cigar heated up, I'm feeling a couple of soft spots, and the wrapper just simply didn't burn right because it didn't have the amount of tobacco pressure against it. So that was a little disappointing. As far as the flavors are concerned in this third, they've actually mellowed out. The finish is still fairly spicy with some black pepper and some sweet spices and earth. And I would say the draw is like a creamy leather with some sweetness to it. It's quite nice. You still get some pepper in there, but and the aroma and occasionally a draw, it's sweet enough that the aroma smells like glazed donuts, if you can believe that. Don't ask me why that popped in my head, but that's what it smelled like. And occasionally that sweet cream note that you get in this third reminded me of glazed donuts. But it was very pleasant. It is a stronger cigar. I'm not going to go 98 on it, but on the strength level as they have on the wrapper here. But I do think that it is definitely a full-bodied cigar at this point, and strength I would say is pretty close to full body at this point. So we'll see if some of these other soft spots create an issue with the burn, because it definitely did in the second third. But all in all, the draw's good, and the flavors are pretty good. But if you're looking at this cigar, I would say this is for somebody that likes a strong cigar and with a nicotine kick to it. Not overwhelming by any means, but definitely strong, and you notice what you're smoking. The finish is quite long, so that's been consistent throughout. But so I'll smoke this down a little further. Hopefully we can get some good burn performance here. I don't know, and the speed of the burn, speaking of the burn, is kind of fast, slow, fast, slow. So I'm not sure if that's because of that underfill issue here and there. That's a little disappointing for a cigar at this price point. So we'll see what happens here, but I'll smoke it down through the end here, and we'll see how it progresses. Welcome back to Cigar Audit. Matt here to wrap up the Gurkha Cellar Reserve 18-year. So the last third, again, you had some good and bad to it. Some of the construction issues were a little bit disappointing. Again, I hit one of those other underfilled spots, and I had to correct the burn 4 times, which was quite disappointing. Now, if I take that aside, the performance in flavor was very good. You get a lot of vegetal notes with some nice balanced spice of black pepper, some of the sweet spices with that, like clove. Not really a cinnamon. Definitely got a little drier in the last third. Still an earth, and a tangy, creamy leather, which is really good. I've actually really enjoyed that and didn't expect that type of flavor profile out of the cigar, which I'm glad it wasn't straight earth the whole time, because that would just be kind of boring and a little brutal. But the draw has remained to be pretty good, except for you are getting quite a bit of heat through this draw. But the flavors in the retrohale are very good. You get a lot of those sweeter vegetal notes, but you're also getting the complex balance of peppers and spices. So I think overall it's a very good cigar. A little disappointed from the construction standpoint. You know, when you smoke a cigar like this at this price point with this type of reputation, you would think that it would perform better from a construction standpoint. But from a flavor standpoint, it did very well. So the retrohale did get a little spicier here at the end, not uncommon. The nicotine kick is pretty significant. I can feel it. I don't have a headache. I'm not sick or anything like that, but it's definitely there. It's present. You can tell. But overall, a very good cigar. A very, very good cigar. So on this cigar, I think I'm going to go with a 93. I think it's a very good cigar, great flavors. If the construction was better, it would be a higher number. In general, a very good cigar. And you know, the next time I smoke this, hopefully I get a little better construction out of it. And you know, it's hard to push it down too much because the flavor was very good. The transitions were very minor throughout. So for the most part, it was a straight ahead stick. I would like to see some more transitions. You did have, I would say, 3 minor transitions throughout the cigar, but enjoyable nonetheless. So if you get a chance, pick it up. Again, this is the Gurkha Cellar Reserve, 18-year in the Solera size, and enjoyable, very enjoyable. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook. Definitely give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out cigaraudit.com. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego.